All right, we are back, and I have the DLC. It looks like it released at noon Eastern, so turns out in Steam, if you go in, like, it released at noon, and I couldn't get. So in Steam, there's a way to go in and clear cache. So I went in and did that, and then I was able to get the download to start. Okay, so I'm still new to the whole streaming thing, so I'm trying to iron out some of these bugs here. I'm getting a warning from YouTube saying the stream's current bitrate, 2590 kbps, is lower than the recommended bitrate. We recommend that you use stream bitrate of 4500. So I can actually change that. I was worried it would be mad because I was streaming too much, but I think I can turn that up. Alright, so I turned the bitrate up in OBS. We'll see if that helps. But yeah, so this is, I just went into the KUHN brand tab, so it's going to have some of the old stuff in here, but anything that has KUHN pack on it, I'm guessing, is the new stuff. So we've got a tether, AGCO 650 SB700. So only needs 40 horsepower, I think. Let's go look at the other tethers. I kind of think that may be like the lowest horsepower rating. Yeah, because even this little one is 60. Alright, good. YouTube's telling me my stream quality is healthy. Fantastic. Alright, good. It's not blurry. 80, 75, and 40. So yeah, that's kind of cool. That's 40 horsepower tether. I mean, tedding doesn't really need a lot of horsepower to do it. The most work the tractor's doing is literally driving over the field. Like, it takes nothing to spin these little tines. So that's kind of cool. You got 8.7 meter. Yeah. Alright, well, we'll buy one of those. It looks pretty good. It's only 7 in the morning, so my lighting is probably still not the best. I could, let's fast forward to 8 so we get a little bit better sunlight. Yeah. Let's actually, I'm going to buy a smaller tractor. That way we can try it out at its lower horsepower. So saying 40. Hang on, I gotta rearrange my YouTube screen again. Cool, there we go. Let's see, so 40 horsepower, let's get... Really? So the Zetter is probably our lowest. Let's see if I have anything. I doubt I have any low horsepower mods. I typically go the opposite direction with mods and get... Yeah. I normally don't pick out much at the low end of the spectrum. Let's use the Zetter. Whoa. So I've already got a field with grass. Field 11 is mowed grass, so we'll go over there and we'll try tedding some of it. So, I mean, there's a few things I want to try. Obviously, we'll, squish, double squish. It's extra points there. I want to try you know, just see what it looks like when it's working, and see if the hired worker can handle it, and then also see what Courseplay seems to think about it. The merger is sick. Nice. Yeah, I'm excited to try the merger. I'm excited to try the whole, like, I don't know, it sounds like there's basically 4 pieces of equipment that you can connect together that will, like, plow, cultivate, seed, and maybe fertilize all at once. I don't know. A whole bunch of stuff, so. I'm just glad this finally got released. I was getting worried. It's really rough to take a day off work and then have it not even come out until noon. I feel bad for everyone in Europe. It's got to be, what, after dinner now? Alright. So, I'm actually gonna, we'll double mow this. I'm gonna send my mower out. Since I fast forwarded time, it, now we got some serious grass piles to play with here. Alright. Looking good. Let's make sure we don't have any weird options up here. Fold, lower, turn on. Yeah, okay. Well, that's good. It's got an angle to it. And then turn on. There we go. Still kind of leaves everything in pretty heavy piles. Alright, so that's a hired worker. Hired worker's doing it. So let's stop the hired worker, and then let's see what Courseplay thinks about it. Now, I'm not, I don't have like super high hopes for, I should probably get out of that guy's way. I don't have super high hopes for Courseplay because, you know, they gotta give them the opportunity to actually like address the new equipment. Sometimes they have to make updates and stuff so that it can handle everything. But if it works, it'd be great. Yeah, I think the problem with the spread is in FS17 it was, or 15 it was more of a texture, and in 17 it's actually using the pile physics. So instead of just being a texture of cut grass on the ground, these are literally piles of grass on the ground right now. Like I could come over here with a front loader and scoop them up. So it's detected at 8.7, which, how does that compare to the store? Uh, 8.7, so it detects at the right width, and then starting in the southwest, heading north. First waypoint, drive course, and of course, this is like my biggest pet peeve about Courseplay. You're right there. You don't need to fold yourself up. Just drive over and start. Like, seriously, dude. And then it drives too far, and I'm like, Merge's working with Courseplay. That's good. Alright, so far so good. I don't want to do the whole field. I'll do about half of it because I want to be able to do silage bales on some of it too. Actually, I won't even do half. I'll probably just do one row down and back, and then we'll rake and bale and make some silage bales and stuff. Steven, sorry, no idea about PS4. I've seen some people commenting on that already. That is pretty shady. If you've got the season pass, you should be able to get the DLC for free. That's kind of the point of season passes. I'm assuming they'll address that. That would be like enraging if they didn't. I have literally zero experience with consoles, so I think the last console I owned was the original Xbox back in college, so ever since then it's all been strictly PC gaming for me. Yeah, okay, thanks, Chad. That's a bug they're working on. Like I said, I would that has to be a bug. That'd be so so bad if they don't give it to you with a season pass. Alright, well, I'm pretty happy with Courseplay and handling the tether. So I'll stop the driver. I'll head back over to the shop and then we can move on to the next piece of equipment here. The Zetter is very slow. After I test everything out, I wanted to kind of bring it all back to the shop so that I can get that awesome screenshot with all the equipment lined out. So for the next part, do you think I need to rake it, or can I just use the merger and just have the merger do it for me? When you wrap bales, do you have to windrow it, or however you spell it? You don't have to windrow, but it makes it go faster because you don't have to drive back and forth as much with the baler when you're picking up the windrows. Alright, so we got ourselves a tether. What's next? Got the merger moving everything to one side, but it's going to be tricky to set up Courseplay course for the baler. Yeah, that's a good point. So let's see, here's our merger. Wow, $102,000. They really like that thing, don't they? 9.1 meters. It needs 140 horsepower. So yeah, I would probably stick with a windrower. So let's give this a whirl here. And if it's having a hard time, 140 horsepower. if it's being too weird as far as try and see how many horsepower my tractors are here. Oh, those are 900s. Okay, yeah, that's not a problem for them. I thought maybe they were 700s. If it's too weird to do this with courseplay, well, I guess I'm not terribly worried about it, because for the sake of the live stream, I can just drive the courses. Let's hop out and take a look at it before we do anything. PTO. What do you suppose this thing on top right there is for? I don't know, maybe it makes sense once you unfold it. I love the safety sallies with their wheel chocks. Alright, looks cool. It's a realistic price. Yeah, I imagine it is. It's just... That's why, that's why I'll never be a farmer. Oh, so the thing I just used, no, you don't want to TED if you're going to make silage bales. You want to use, that's why I didn't TED the whole field, because I'm going to make some hay bales out of the first section there that I used the tedder on, and then I'm going to make some silage bales out of the rest of the grass. Helper G is done. Alright, so let's unfold. I'm gonna go, let's get this guy out of here. Whoa! Well, that's gonna be an issue. Come on, flip over. I'll just leave you on the railroad tracks and let the train fix it. Come on. Yes! Oh! Awesome. Well, things have gone from bad to worse. We'll just leave that there as a reminder to the other tractors. Bam! Yeah, that's right. Okay, so what can we do with this thing? Lower it. And turn it on. I was assuming there would be like oh, here we go. No? Hire worker, change tool selection. So it's just going... Is there not a way to tell it to change direction? Right bumper for working side. I don't know, maybe my control bindings are not quite right. Turn it off first? Okay. Ah, working. Wow, so it has to be off and up in order to change it. Okay, cool, thanks. So I'm going to do working side right, and I'll just go down and back by hand. And that should make one, like, giant, in theory. Yeah, thanks for helping with that there. Yeah, that's pretty slick. Alright, can I hire a worker? Yes. Nah, I don't really expect the hired worker to get the turn. Oh, wait. Hey, buddy. Buddy. Nope. Nope. Come on. So that is where I stopped. I think I stopped the tether there and switched from a hired worker to course play. So that's probably why that hired worker stopped there. Maybe it detected like a break in it or something. Keep going here. Alright, there we go. Alright, so it's back to the hired worker now. Courseplay doesn't like the bale ripper combo? Okay. Yeah. Like I said, I don't expect it all to work with Courseplay right out the bat, but I would imagine, you know, probably in another 2 weeks everything will probably be supported. Alright, so let's see what happens if it picks up some grass. Is it just gonna merge everything? That's pretty good. Man, that is a big pile. Alright, well, in theory, if it keeps working like this, then the next 2 rows, like, it'll just keep making grass rows then, after it's done with this one. So I should be able to just let this run, and I can hop down to the store and pick up the balers. I just want to make sure it makes this turn down here, and then I'll hop over. Yeah, so far so good. Alright, let's go down to the store. Alright, so balers. What we got here? So that looks like the new square bale wrapper. I'm guessing that's the... Wait. Okay, so this is the all-in-one baler wrapper. That's just the baler. Alright, well, we'll buy all 3 here. Foil color white, that's fine. It's kind of cool, you can customize the foil color. Still will never be as cool as my wrapper that puts my logo on my bales. Alright, what do we got for horsepower? 140, 185, and NA. Alright. 12 miles an hour, 12 miles an hour. And they both are pressing out 4,000 liter bales. Okay. So that's the square bale wrapper. Looks pretty cool. Do you have to do any... No, it doesn't look like... I can't interact with the boxes of wrap. Alright, so that's the new square baler. Pretty cool. And then this is the round baler and wrapper in one. Cool. Alright, let's grab another tractor here. And I'm going to start with, well, I'll start with a square baler, because we got to press out those, the hay bales, since we're not going to wrap the hay bale row. So, drive this over to field 11. And again, I'm driving like I'm drunk because as I drive from the store to the field is a good time for me to try and read chat. Yeah, I'm not sure if the bale density mod would be causing an issue with the balers or not. I do not have it installed, so whatever comes out of these should be the stock ones. Has everyone had a chance to check out the new little square baler? I am so happy that we've got that in the game. I remember back in 15, they had a small square baler, and it was super annoying because you couldn't pick up the small bales, and that's the point, is you should be able to pick them up. And now in this game you can pick up objects, and now you can make the small bales and you can pick them up and load them on a trailer. So that's pretty cool. It's, I mean, obviously time consuming, but it's still fun to be able to do that now. Alright, so we want to unfold the baler and lower the pickup. Oh, turn it on, lower the pickup. Helper A has completed their task. No you didn't. You just think you did. Dude, did you just rake that stuff into the tree? Not cool. Let me see something here. It's looking like the, yeah, okay, so the little fins are not clippable, so you can drive through stuff with them. Interesting. Let's see, which direction did I have this? Ugh. It is outputting to the right. So I'm actually going to redo this part here. We'll output to the... We'll do left. That's kind of cool that section lifts up to do the middle. I guess that makes sense now why you can't do it while it's lowered or running. Get all this stuff pushed over so I can actually do something with it. Alright, we'll hire a worker from there. Let him figure it out. You think the DLC is well overpriced? Yeah, it probably is. Honestly, to me, it's basically a $15 square bale wrapper. That's okay. You know, I enjoy the game, and I've got. Hang on a second. Let me check here. Games. I've got 427 hours in this game. So honestly, with what they charge for the game and what they charge for the DLC, like, I get my money's worth out of it. So I'm not gonna get bent out of shape over 15 bucks for a DLC if it keeps the franchise alive, right? So this is going well. Hiring a worker. Hired worker wants nothing to do with this. Says nope. Nope, no thank you. Alright, so Looks like driving this myself and or course play are going to be my only options, but because I didn't course play the raking, it's going to be kind of hard to figure out how to do the baling. So we'll just do this part by hand. Man, that's so this is 2 cuttings raked together. And that thing is really spitting out the bales. Alright, so out of curiosity, yeah, look at that. So I hit a little bit of this and it automatically changes. If you now I have a hay bale, now I have a grass bale. Right, so it's doing the same thing that all the other balers do. I would kind of rather, like, if you've got hay bales in it, just I don't know, don't pick up grass or something. But I suppose that would be annoying if you wanted to use the baler for other stuff. Alright, well, let's unload. Let's see here. Turn off the baler. Unload the baler. And then we'll get it turned back on and we'll start doing the grass bales here. And then that way we can try out the square bale wrapper. Yeah, Jen, honestly, I've never tried to hire a worker to do baling. I use courseplay for everything, so. Helper D is done. Are you actually done this time, or are you just hanging out like on the trees or in the train tracks? Maybe on the train tracks? Oh no, okay, that's fine. You look mostly done. Or not. What did you do? This is why I don't use the hired workers. Tell you what, they got some low-skilled labor here in Goldcrest Valley. I mean, you're raking a field, dude. Seriously, it's not that hard. You go back and forth. Alright, which way are we? We're going left. We want to go right. And turn it on, lower it. My dog is running into the room and spinning around and running out of the room. He's crazy. Alright. That's enough raking and merging. I'm gonna take this guy back to the shop. What is going on with that? Do I need to I mean, is it supposed to be like jumping around like that when I go over stuff, or is it still part of the folding animation? I suppose maybe it does that for real. How long will I be streaming? That is a good question. At some point, I'm gonna get hungry or need to go to the bathroom. But until one of those two things occurs, I'll keep streaming. I got nothing else to do today, so took the day off work. It's only it's 1 in the afternoon here. I'll probably have to take a break in like an hour, but I don't know if I'll necessarily stop the stream. Like, I gotta go give my dogs lunch and let them out, but that's about it. Okay, so merger. Just kind of back this thing. See, is it supposed to be like flopping around like that? Is that normal? I feel like I did something wrong. Alright, let's grab the square bale wrapper and head back over there. And we'll do some more baling and do some wrapping. Scrape. I don't think the DLC is 100% bug-free. Yeah, I would say that's a safe bet. It's not 100% bug-free. The game's not 100% bug-free. I love their, man, that last patch where they fixed the direct seeders, that was a great one, huh? You know, I never even noticed it in the gameplay I was doing because I always use oilseed radish, and so it was never an issue because oilseed radish wasn't what was on the field, right? So it would go fine for me. The 722 OTC. Your name's a little hard to read off on stream. My FPS is probably fine. Yeah, we're in the solid 60 if I look at the ground. So yeah, I'm, you know, hovering pretty close to 60. I can leave that up. It's a good question with new equipment whether or not it's causing FPS drop. So we'll keep watching this. Now my FPS might be suffering a little bit. Let me hop out of here for a second and open up Task Manager and see what my computer thinks of all of this. Yeah, I mean, with the live stream running and the game running, I'm still only using about 30% of my CPU. Yeah. So, my computer's not terribly worried about this. I should probably turn that on. Now, for a gaming computer, my graphics card is a little lacking, so eventually that will be getting upgraded. In fact, I got a birthday coming up here in 2 weeks, and so I may very well just buy myself a new graphics card for my computer. But yeah, now we're looking at what, mid 40s. Alright, I'm gonna bale this last row here, and then I'll leave the rest of the grass so that we can try the other baler out. Oh, and hi to you too, and my day is going quite well. Any day where I get to sit home and play video games instead of working is a pretty good day. It's hard to screw that up, right? A new graphics card's cheaper than a Valentine's date. Yeah. My Valentine's date already happened like 2 weeks ago. My wife's been out of town for a couple weeks. She is down in Florida training with her horse. So I am left home alone to care for our dogs and play video games. Fedor Gaming. What do I like about FS17? There's a lot of stuff I like about it. To me, really the big thing... Let's see here. I want to turn this off and unload it. It's probably a stupid place to unload it, but whatever. To me, the big thing about Farming Simulator and why I play it so much is my day job is relatively stressful, and I like games that I can play, you know, for a couple hours at night. Okay, afford video games while my wife has horses. Thankfully, my wife actually is the one who affords horses. Alright, stream should be back online. I have no idea what happened. OBS said it was still streaming, so I just stopped and restarted it, but we should be good now. Hopefully you guys will be able to let me know in chat if the stream's back. Alright, yay. Alright, so what do I like about FS17? Like I was saying, my day job's relatively stressful. And so I like games that I can relax. Let me get rid of this guy. You don't need to see that. And I find this really relaxing. You know, just kind of driving around. I like games where there's no like point. So it's probably one of my favorite things about it. I am not currently a farmer, but I have done farming in the past. I've worked at a pretty big hog farm for a while in high school and college, and actually worked on a Christmas tree farm. I missed my turn again. And then growing up when I was a kid, my uncle had a dairy farm, and so we'd go up there and, you know, ride in the equipment and hang out with the cows. So I've always enjoyed farming, but it seems like in America it's one of those things that at this point you basically need to be born into it, or you need to work for like a big corporate farm, because it's so expensive, and buying the equipment and buying the land, really, it's just so expensive. And so alright, let's leave this over here. I want to try out the square bale wrapper standalone first. And let's see, that should be here. That, you know, it's just, it's not, farming isn't something that you can be like, I want to be a farmer, and then magically have a 2,000 acre grain farm and all the equipment to run it, right? So it's kind of, in Kentucky we have a lot of horses, and the joke with horses is, how do you make a small fortune with horses? And you have to start with a large fortune. Let's see here. So we want to unfold it. Well, okay, that's pretty cool. And do you not turn it on? Is it like auto sensing? Yeah. Oh, I just didn't drive forward far enough. Okay. Oh, that's pretty cool. Little cutters. Snap. Oh man, I gotta unload these. Alright. So how is this gonna work if it's slightly at an angle? That seems okay. Hype. Alright, I gotta unload it. I'm waiting for it to like do something. good to see that this thing's still incredibly slow. We wouldn't want a fast bale wrapper. I'm sure it's probably realistic, like wrapping a bale probably takes a minute, but so Jan, you get the merger and baler working together in courseplay. You just gotta get the offsets right. Cool. Alright, we're up to... Courseplay does not like the square wrapper. Yeah. I would imagine it probably has issues with it. That's alright. I don't even know if I'll wrap this whole row. Kind of want to. Because I also wanted to test, so I've got, you know, hay bale, grass bale, wrap square bale, and then I'll do wrap round bales, and I want to see how the autoloader handles it and all that stuff too. Yeah. Ken, I could see how this definitely does get tedious. But, I mean, silage bales is one of the best ways to make money in the game, so they can't make it too easy. Wrap some round bales? Alright. We'll finish this one and then I'll take this back over. Alright, well here, out of curiosity, let's see what happens if we try and wrap hay bale. In theory, you would not wrap a hay bale, because it's not going to make a silage bale. But let's just see what it thinks. Oh, look at that, it converted it to a grass bale as soon as it picked it up. Interesting. The square ones they're actually worth the same as the round ones because they're both 4,000 liters. If you have the bale extension mod, maybe, I know Jan plays with that, he might be able to comment on whether or not which one would be, you know, bigger or whatever. We'll leave this over here with the other wrapped ones. Alright. Let's go try out the round baler. Okay, so get zoomed in so we can see the animations. We want to unfold the baler. Oh, that's all it does is move the wheels. Okay. Oh, I do have the auto unload mod on here, so I don't know if that's gonna... It's currently set to off, but I could try and see... Yeah, we'll do a couple bales and then we'll do a few with the auto unload and see what that does to it. Let's see here. Lower the pickup and turn on the baler. And I'm not really seeing any other options, so let's give that a whirl. Zoom out a little more here. Let's see here. Bale density mods. Straw and hay bales are 6,000 liters square. Grass squares are 5,000 liters. Grass round bales are 3,400 liters. I have not made round hay or round straw bales with it. Okay, thanks for the info. This is a pretty small partial row, so that's why we're taking a little while here. Alright, so it auto-unloaded into the wrapper portion. Oh, that's a different wrapping animation. So it goes around a couple times and then it does the ends. It's kind of neat. And then I have to unload it. Okay. Hello, New Holland man. Thanks for joining us. How's your day going? Hey, Lewis. Thanks for joining us. How you doing today? Of course, this doesn't have a pre-press, so it's kind of like the other round balers in the sense that you have to back up a little bit once it actually spits the bale out. I'm really surprised that you remember that KUHN baler from FS17 that won the mod contest? Why has that not been converted yet? That was like the coolest baler in the world, and it was one of the first times where you had to like pick stuff up by hand, like with the foil and the netting and all that stuff. So yeah, that really needs to be in 17. Let's turn on auto unload and see if that does anything on this baler. Oh, I can bale while it's wrapping. Alright, let's try that. I mean, it's a good point. Once it closes the door, I should... Yeah, okay. I can go back to baling. Now, my windrows are so big that I'm picking it up faster than the wrapper will wrap, but... Yeah, the KUHN Ultima, thanks. Yeah, that's the one I was looking for. Auto unloader is apparently not going to unload for me. Alright. That's okay. I'm not like terribly surprised by that. So I'm guessing this doesn't really have an option to not wrap the bales. Right? Like if I just wanted to make round bales, is this thing not going to let me do that? What time is it in America? I am on the East Coast. Well, not really on the East Coast. I'm in Kentucky. But I'm in East Coast time, and it's 1:09 p.m. here. Yeah, how far have these bales been rolling? Oh yeah, they're going downhill pretty easy, aren't they? That's fun. Yeah. They really need to work on the physics for that. Like, this hill is not that steep. You know, they've got the tire deformation on the tractors. When you drop a round bale, it would, you know, sink a little bit. You gonna go down there with your friends? Come on, little dude, you can do it. Oh, it's picking up steam. Go. Go, bale, go. Uh-oh. It's off course. Good job, buddy. Safety in numbers. 610 in Ireland. Nice. Bale bowling. Yeah. Well, that's so one of the reasons why I was so excited to get the square bale wrapper is exactly because of bale bowling. The square bales, if you notice, they sit exactly where you leave them, and so that it really helps with course play, because I've had some issues in my Let's Play series, which for the 27 people watching, if you are interested in Farming Simulator and haven't actually seen my channel before, all I do is Farming Simulator, and I've got a Let's Play series and I do a bunch of tutorials, so if that stuff interests you, by all means subscribe. So in my Let's Play series, I use this field to do grass and bales and whatnot for the sheep, and the round bale wrapper is kind of struggling. Let me start this row over again. Apparently this thing has got so much grass that the intake can't actually pick it all up. That, or I'm just not paying very good attention. Probably the latter. So I use this field in my Let's Play series, and I'm doing round bales on it when I have extra grass that I don't need for the sheep. Wow, yeah, this thing, it's just too much grass for the intake to pick up. That's crazy. And they keep rolling downhill, and so Courseplay has a problem with that. I actually have a little mod. It's basically a bumper that you put on the front of the tractor, and if you get a bale in front of you, it helps push it out of the way. Your square bale wrapper is getting parked until it works with Courseplay. I don't want to wrap hundreds of bales by hand. Yeah, like I said, I'm sure in, give it, maybe 2 weeks tops, and it'll be working with Courseplay. I'm having a hard time keeping track of, like, should I be driving, should I be wrapping, should I be waiting? That's why I liked the KUHN Ultima, because it had that pre-press in it, and really got to hit the bale head on with a square baler. It's not very forgiving. Yeah. That could be an issue with Courseplay, because there's not much you could do about that if it's just the mod that's being picky about how the bale gets picked up. You got to have a certain margin of error if you want to automate that. Whoa, drove too far. Oh, come on. Alright, I'm just going to finish this row and then we'll move on to the next piece of equipment here. Alright. I'm going to do a quick course play. Well, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna record a transfer course to get that other tractor behind me there back to the shop as well. I suppose I could just reset it, but squish. Alright, Temptran 1. First waypoint, drive course. So, let's see here. When you start your Let's Play, you were concerned when not hitting pedestrians 400 hours later. Squish. 2 for 1 squish. Yeah, no, yeah. I'm just glad that they're not like the cars and like some massive immovable object. That would be really annoying. Alright, so what do we got next? Let's so we did I kind of want to try the stackable stuff out. Gotta figure out how all that works. So this is not part of the pack, these are just mods. Oh. I forgot to tell that guy to stop. He's stuck in traffic, but that's the truck that's in the parking lot. Not the smartest drivers. Alright, so I think that's everything baling technology, right? Produce a small map. And iModding made a nice one for 2013, I believe, called Spring Hill. It'd be another for 17. Yeah, I don't know. By my standards, this is a small map. I like the 14Xs, and you know, I have even dabbled a little bit with some of the 16X maps on FS17. So let's see here. Trying to think, what do we want to try next? Play a solo? Yeah, I did. Even on the bigger maps, that's where I learned to love courseplay, because basically you could use courseplay to help with it. I never actually do any multiplayer. So, alright, so this thing here, this DC 401, reading about it, it looks like a plow, but it's not a plow, but it does actually, from what I read, count as plowing the field. So I'm wondering where it shows up in here. So it doesn't show up there, so it must be... Okay, so there it is. We'll buy that. And buy that one. Yeah, we'll come back to those. So in theory, these two things hook together. And it's basically supposed to count as plowing and then cultivating. And then I think there's a seeder that you then hook up after this. So let's look for that. All right. Increase the capacity of sewing machines. So this works with this, and this one works with this. So this doesn't natively have capacity. So you can't store like the seeds in here for this thing. This stores some, but then this would increase it. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, Graceland for 15 was a really good map. I did enjoy that one. I'm trying to remember right. Was Graceland the one that had like 5 cow barns, 5 pig barns, 5 chicken barns? That was kind of, if that's the map I'm thinking of, that was my only complaint about it. I think that setup makes sense for a multiplayer map, but for a single player, that was just stupid. And I think having multiple barns would have made more sense if I could have like turned off 3 of the 4 and just said put all my animals in this first one. But like if you bought say you bought 12 cows, it would put 3 in each barn, and then you would have to go put food in each barn and clean up each barn, and you know, so that part of it was a little odd. Alright, so I think this is all of our, I think this is everything for the whole multi-attached stuff. The other thing I need to check here is, because I'm playing on easy, I don't have to plow, so I actually want to turn that back on. Periodic plowing required on, and then let's go ahead and do 3 fertilizer states. I might as well save this while I'm here. I don't know why. Alright. And then let's take a look and see at our map, see if we can find a field that needs to be plowed. Okay, so 25 over here does need to be plowed, but it's already fully fertilized. Let's use 21. 21 needs to be plowed and it's not fertilized. So I'll go buy that field and then we can try this out and see how these work together. Alright, so we're going to do that. And then I'm going to use this. And then we'll add that. And then, does that thing go on the front or the back? Or did I screw that up? Does it go between the cultivator and the end piece? Yeah, it doesn't go there. Hang on, let me get out and look at it here. This has got that thing. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking maybe this just goes on the front of the tractor. Alright. I'm assuming that's what we're supposed to do here. Let's see here. The other thing I need to do is I need to drop, come over here and do it. Drop down a fertilizer tank and a seed tank so I can fill this thing up. Alright, do seed, solid fertilizer, and just because, do liquid. Okay. Yeah, like this does look like a fun combination here, and if you were on a map the size of Goldcrest Valley or smaller, I could see using this, but if you were on a 4X map like Rattlesnake Valley or, you know, stuff like that, then yeah, like, yeah, there's no way you'd use these. Oh, I forgot. In the new update, it won't automatically close the cover anymore, so you gotta do that now when you drive away. Okay, let's buy this field. And wheat is fine with me. Let's cycle through and see. This is a little confusing because I don't really know. I guess I gotta pick this one. There we go. Okay, so wheat, barley, canola, soybeans, oilseed rash, and grass. Just the standard stuff. We'll do wheat. And then yeah, I guess we'll just hire a worker and see what happens. Nothing happens. Fantastic. Let's try doing it by hand. So we can lower the cultivator. And I can turn on that cultivator. And lower the seeder. And turn it on. Oh, hired worker says no thank you. Well, it was nice of the hired worker to pick all that up for me. Alright, lower the cultivator. Turn that on. Lower the seeder. Turn that on. And then I gotta select the thing for the ridge marker. Okay. And then, you know, because ridge markers. Whoa! Is it detecting the ridge marker? It's gotta be. Yeah, okay, so it's detecting the ridge marker. I won't auto turn. I'll do it myself. There we go. We're seeding. I don't know, man. This is kind of interesting, but at the same time it seems gimmicky because it's like there's so many steps. It's like overly complicated. The hired worker can't do it. I highly doubt Courseplay would be able to figure all that out. But it should be, in theory, it's plowing, cultivating, and seeding all at once. I'll do like a couple passes and then we'll check on the map to see what it looks like. now if I'm on this one, okay, it lifts everything up for me. Now the question is, when I make my turn and set that one thing down, will it set everything down, or do I have to like go from piece of equipment to, you know, set everything down? Looks pretty good. Okay. Looks like the working width's a little bit wider than it's detecting at here. Right, will blow up since you have to close your own cover. I know. Does a cultivator allow create fields? No. And again, it's weird because it's not actually a plow. Because it's not in the plow category, it's in the cultivator category. But from what I read, it's supposed to... when you look at the field, in theory here, it's going to say that it's has been plowed. So we get this thing started here, and then yeah, check it out. So it is removing the needs plow. So even though it's not a plow, it is doing that job. Oh, sorry. Keep going, buddy. Alright, so what does everyone think of this? Anyone plan on using this combination here, or is this just too gimmicky? Try it on old streams, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could see using it on a small map. So let me, let's see here. Okay, it's gonna stop driving while I do that, that's fine. We'll just turn this off. Let's, look at the numbers on this. So we've got $10,000 for that thing, 18 for the cultivator part, and then 14 for the seeder and 11 for the extra tank, which from what I'm seeing here, you can't use this unless you have the tank. This one you could use without it, but not this one. Oh, I think what I might be seeing here, so maybe you do need it for this one, but this one also has fertilizer. So maybe the planter holds the fertilizer and this holds the seed for it. We could try that. Let me... But, okay, so what I was doing is we're looking at 19, 40, no, 53,000 for this, you know, obviously tractor not included. Void where prohibited. 53,000 for that. And we're plowing, cultivating, and seeding all in one go at, what's our width? 4 meters. So that guy's 3 meters. Yeah, you're looking at 15,000 for that. I mean, and then 3 meters, 4 meters. Here's a 4-meter cultivator for 14. And $22 for the, yeah, I could see it. I mean, the numbers seem to make sense that this could be, the numbers make sense. Oh man. All right, well, let's go back and swap out the seeder for the other one. We'll try planting corn on the other half of this field and see what happens. On a new save starting from scratch, you'd use it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's why I was looking at the math for it there. I mean, it kind of makes sense. Let's put, I want to drop off the seeder from the back there. But at the same time, you're basically on a new save. Say you did a new Goldcrest Valley or a new Sosnovka. You're basically buying equipment that would do the same job as your starting equipment. Now, is this wider than the cultivator? That was a close one. Should the seeder be wider than the cultivator? Oh, that's a liquid tank. That's probably why. Oh, oh, oh. What did I get? Okay, so I'm refilling the seed. So none of the covers open that time. And it looks like you don't put anything in the front. It all has to go in the back there. So this is all your standard row crop stuff. We'll do corn. Yeah, Shooter, that's kind of my feeling on it too, is that I may only use 1 or 2 things out of this DLC, so in that sense it's probably not worth the $15, but I appreciate the fact that Giants went through the work to do a partnership with KUHN to get the equipment and to bring it to the game, and so I'm happy to support them in that endeavor. Alright, so we want to turn this on and lower it. Now, because that planter isn't direct seeding, right, it needs to be seeded in something that's cultivated, and the field's not cultivated until the little thing in the middle does it. In theory, it's only going to seed that portion. So we'll see how this goes here. Lower that. And we want to turn that on. And then we'll come back over here. And let's new auto detect. So it's detecting the cultivator and not the seeder. That's good. There's a little overlap on the fertilizer, which I suppose that's okay because it probably won't. Does the front one have a 3,000 plus capacity? Let's see here. Oh, that was under sewing machines. No, 1,500. and the back is 1204. So it looks like, yeah, alright, so some seed is being stored in the planter in the back. It's got seed and fertilizer. So you can probably do this operation without the add-on, because I would imagine it's got the, you don't consume them at the same rate. So what's probably going to happen is I'll run out of fertilizer way before I run out of seed. Bit too small for you, Razor. Yeah, it's a bit too small for me too. Anything smaller than 9 meters is just kind of eh. I suppose I could pick that up when I turn. Yeah, that's like backwards on the horse Maestro. In fact, I think there's some mods that you can get where they flip those numbers. Whoa. Should probably set that down before we start driving. Yeah. No, I agree, Jan. I wouldn't edit a stock piece of equipment. I'm more than happy to use a modded one and edit it. But, because when you start doing stuff like that, you never know what's going to happen on the next update, right? You could wind up causing headaches for yourself. The letters XML freak you out. Yeah, I've got some videos coming out over the next couple of days here where I'll actually do a little bit of basic modding. I do not consider myself a modder by any stretch of the definition, but I do go in and monkey with stuff a little bit. Bird 203, how am I liking the DLC? So far it's okay. It's kind of what I was expecting based on what I had seen. I think a lot of the fieldwork equipment is going to be a little small for my taste. Like, this is a pretty tiny planter. I could see, if I would have had this when I first started my Let's Play series on Goldcrest Valley, I probably would have used this for some stuff. One issue I have with this is, obviously I can't hire a worker, and Courseplay isn't going to be able to do this. Like, there's too much going on. Courseplay doesn't really grasp the whole cultivating and seeding at once. I've tried. So you have to do all this by hand, or like I'm doing, use GPS mod. And I'm okay with having small equipment on the farm, especially stuff that works well with Courseplay, because you know, you can go out and use, you know, 3 planters on one field to make them act as one big planter, or, you know, you can have one guy doing one field and another one doing another field, another one doing another field, and you can jump and back and forth and stuff like that. And so I think there's a time and a place for small equipment, but for me personally, the way at the point I'm at now in my Let's Play series, I probably won't be using any of this fieldwork equipment. Now, we haven't gone and looked at the sprayer yet. I mean, the sprayer probably has potential. So, alright, well, I think we've tested this little combo out as much as we can. So, and this is a Fendt 900 that I'm using, and it's like bobbing around from the weight hanging off the back. So, and look, the front steering is so loose, it's barely got any weight on there. And so really, if you're using this setup, you're going to want to do a weight and not the extra cedar tank in the front. Let's see if I can disconnect the whole... Okay, so I can disconnect the whole back part in one go. That's good. That would be a little annoying if you had to disconnect each one separately. I forgot to say squish, I know. I haven't connected all 4 pieces together? What do you mean? Because these 3 are connected together. And then this one we tried to connect to that back piece and I couldn't get it to connect, so I put it on the front. Connect the 4014 add-on to the equipment, alright. The 4014. That's the pill wrapper. Alright, well, let's check out some of this. So, that's really just a 4-meter cultivator. But it says it works with the 650 and the FS17. Oh, interesting. So this is a cultivator that also plants oilseed radish and grass. Cool. And this is a standard sewing machine, but is that really only 3 meters? $110 horsepower for a 3-meter sewer. I mean, granted, it's a direct sewer, but let's... How does that stack up against some of the stuff we already have? Oh, okay. So the smallest direct sower we've got is the 6-meter one for 52,000 versus this. Okay, so I mean, I guess it's just filling a new price point. Yeah, so this would then become the cheapest and smallest direct seeding sewing machine. Connect the DC 401 first and then the HR 4004 and the BTF 4000 in this order together with the seeder on front. Where did I put my tractor? Use this one. All right, DC 401. HR 44, okay. BTF 4000 together with the seeder on front. Yeah, I'm still not quite getting what you're saying there. I mean, that's what we did, right? That's... Alright, well here, I think... So, if I... That's awesome. If I detach the seeder, right? And then we'll drop that. Oh, no, I wanted to drop that. Okay. So can I attach this to the front of the tractor? No. So I can't put this on the front of the tractor. Right, so why would you put the seeder on the front of the tractor if you're then going to plow and cultivate behind you? Right? Seeding's the last thing you do. You plow, cultivate, and then seed. No, I'm getting what you're saying, but like, why would you put your seeder in front of your plow and your cultivator? That'd make no sense. Right? Yeah, the plow and the cultivator are together over there. I agree, it would help balance the weight, but so seeders are directional, right? So you can't run them backwards. Come on, buddy. You can get over that curb. Alright, so is this what you're talking about? We'll go do this. Just because if this works, this is like the stupidest thing in the world. Ouch. Right. Dude, if this tractor hit that truck, I would not be the one that's bouncing backwards. Oh, reverse drive mode. But I'm still running the plow backwards. Hey, I mean, we'll try it. Change driving direction. Alright, so I'm going to turn this on and lower it and lower that and turn that on. Yep. Doing a whole lot of nothing. If you've got a delay, there is a delay in chat, like from the time it takes for me to see what you type and then... Right, that's what... So, I get that you connect all of them on the rear only. That's what I did. Yeah. I'm sorry, Bird, I am not picking up what you're laying down, man. Okay, I definitely gotta switch this thing back out of reverse drive mode. So the delay in chat is because it takes a little bit for me to see what you're saying and then for me to respond and then for you to see it. But if the delay is more than like, say a minute, then check your YouTube stream at the bottom left, like where the timeline is, and see if it says whether it's live or not. There should be a red dot for live, and you can hit that and it will update the stream so that you're back to watching the live stream instead of watching what happened a few minutes ago. Alright. Right, yeah, so we've connected them together to make one machine. One machine that does some sweet wheelies and can't steer. We'll leave that there for now. And so what I was doing, and what we already did in the stream, is I connected this thing here, which is the add-on seed tank, to the front. Which this gives me a little more weight in the front, but even on this, like I said, this is a Fendt 900, and this thing has so much weight in the back that, like, I can hardly steer. And if we're talking about using this equipment because it's small and relatively cheap and would work good on a starter map, and the Fendt 900 is struggling to move it around, then that doesn't really... Like, the math doesn't work there, right? Like, you're normally not going to be using a tractor like this on a small starter farm. Yeah, I mean, if I ditch this, whoops, if I drop that seed tank, ugh, and apparently we'll leave that there for now. I have a weight right here. I don't even know how big this weight is. I imagine it's a pretty decent one. I normally only buy the pretty big ones. Yeah. 2,300 kilograms. So with this weight on here, I should be able to pick this up just fine. Front steering is still a little unresponsive. So that weight is basically having the same effect as having that front seat tank on. But of course, you know, once I put the weight on, now I can't put the seat tank on. So so we're here, I wouldn't be able to use that unless I put the front tank on. Now granted, this one's lighter, so it probably doesn't weigh the tractor down as bad as that one. Put it on the front and do high-speed 360 endo. Can't argue with that logic. Good thing I got a four-wheel drive tractor. Let's see if I can pick the weight up. Come on, buddy. You can do it. Oh, come on. You get that weight. No? Alright. We'll, do it that way. Oh, man. So even... Okay, so now I can pick it up off the ground. No endos. I'll slam on the brakes, I won't lift it up anymore. Nope, no endos. Not with the weight on. Okay. So... I don't know. Let me look at something here. So again, back to what I was saying earlier about how... like the legitimate use case for that equipment would be on a smaller farm. Come on. Which, if you're just starting out, what does the game give us? It gives us the 8340 and this 1455 XL. So this is 145 horsepower, and if we look at here, we need 130 for that, 100 for this. Holy cow, I'm gonna have to add this up. 130, 100. And this needs 100. So we're doing 4 meters of planting, and we need 330 horsepower to do it. Let's just look at stock equipment here. So granted, this isn't plowing, but this is doing 9 meters of planting and only needs 270. So let's I don't know if it'll give us an error, refuse to do anything or what, but let's try the bigger of the two. And see if it can even run it. You need 200 to start with horsepower? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So, I don't know. To me, it seems like it's not going to be worth it. Whee! Let's detach that part. And then we'll put on the little front seed tank here, and then we'll grab the sewing end. Whoops. Oh, this thing doesn't have a front. Ah. Alright, well, there's a problem. So you wouldn't even be able to use this with one of the starting tractors. How do I like the front loader CSZ mod? Doesn't seem worth having to download from upload.net. Yeah, isn't that the truth? I hate that website with a passion. I like the CSZ stuff. Some of them, they make them a bit more work than they're worth. It's kind of funny because like they come in pieces and like you have to assemble them on the ground, and you gotta like screw in bolts and stuff, and I'm like, dude, it's a front loader attachment. Like, no one needs this level of realism in a front loader attachment. Alright, well, let's look at some of the other stuff here. I think we've played with those long enough. Alright, so this is just a straight up 4-meter cultivator. This is a 6-meter cultivator that can also do grass and oilseed radish. Let's see, what else did we have in the pack here? Hey, no problem, Razor. Glad I could help with that. Alright, so we want to look at this. Might as well buy the sprayers while I'm here. All right. Oh wow. So again, this is like a reoccurring theme on this game. To me, I wouldn't call this a cultivator. This is like the I would call that a chisel plow. And in my book, that would count as plowing, not just cultivating. Hired workers taking weird turning routes. I just have issues with hired workers in general. I have issues with everything that hired workers do. That's a good looking mod. It's got a lot of detail. You can see like individual, on the front here you can see individual bolts and nuts. That's pretty cool. Trying to find the grease fittings. Just waiting for someone to add that. Now that you can manipulate things by hand, we need like a handheld grease gun, and you got to get out here and grease this thing yourself. Alright, well, so this is an already cultivated field, however it is not plowed. So, I mean, pretty normal cultivaty sort of stuff. Let's double check that that's not. All right, yeah, it's not counting as a plow. I didn't think it would, but it should, because. I'm going to try out the other one, and we'll direct seed some oilseed radish. And then we can go back to that other cultivator and try and cultivate in the oilseed radish. No greasing. Well, it kind of goes back to what I was saying about those the CSZ front loader attachments. It's just like, really, like, I don't want to bust out a wrench and assemble my equipment, thanks. Oh, you know what would, like, really go over well is if I filled this with seed first. Let's go ahead and give that a try. Nope. Hey, buddy. You wanna? Nope. Nailed it. Alright. Hey, alright. Yeah, Bert, that doesn't work. You can't put the seeder on the front of the tractor. You can connect all the stuff together, but it has to go plow, cultivator, seeder. If you put the seeder on the front, it's backwards. And the seeders don't work backwards. Like, we tried that over in the field and it did nothing. Farming sim mechanic. I'm sure I'll get there eventually. Alright, select seed, we're gonna do oilseed radish. R changes the width. Okay. So I guess we'll do that. And you have to turn it on. Oh, well, yeah, because you're seeding. That makes sense. And we lower. Okay, so I can hire a worker for this part. And of course, once I hire a worker, I can't close GPS mod. Yeah, so far I'd say this all looks pretty normal here. I like how I've completed one pass and I haven't used any seed so far. That's kind of interesting. Wonder how many passes I can get in here before I actually use 1 liter of seed. It was really nice of it to not actually do the whole field there. You missed a part. Oh, helper refill turned on. Good point. Probably. Alright. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I never play on on easy mode, so some of those settings are kind of throwing me for a loop. Alright. Well, let's go look at some other stuff while the helper's doing that. So, we've got these. Get that cedar. We could grab that cedar and I can have it start planting the same field but from the other side. We'll see how it does. Oh, okay, so this is kind of, I guess, the smallest direct seeding sower. Was it the Rapid 900? Doesn't fertilize either. Oh, the Vaderstadt Rapid A 600S doesn't fertilize, and neither does this one. Have I seen the new class mod? Yes, I have seen that one. Close cover. There we go. Yeah, so there's a bit of an issue with that cultivating cedar. The hired worker is definitely missing parts of the field. Let's see how this one goes. Alright, let's select our seed. I want to do more oilseed radish. And we'll turn it on, lower it, and hire a worker. It's kind of funny because it seems like it's a big cedar because it's long, but it's really not doing much there. Alright, so I don't want to use the Zetter. Let's use this thing. Let's try the 2-part sprayer here. Am I backwards? Oh! Stupid tractor. No front 3 points. I guess we could see if the Zetter will handle this. Might be asking a little much of it, but we'll give it a try. It's just spraying, right? Alright. Bird, we started off with bales. I'll go back and do some more of that here in a little bit after we've made it through the rest of the equipment. In fact, I could take the baler over and we could try making some, I guess we can't. I'm trying to think. I could use the square baler to make some straw bales, but that's basically all I could do with the straw that I have. And we can try using the combiner. I'm kind of under the impression I should be able to fill the back tank as well. Oh, I probably have to select it. Here we go. Nope, wrong button. Alright, unfold. What is it doing? Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's got a pretty good wingspan to it. Hire worker. Not bad. There's a lot of detail on this. You can even see like the pumps and the hoses. They've been modeled like a safety pin in the chains. It's kind of cool. Yeah, no, it's yeah, I like this sprayer. I would probably use this over the Amazon. Let's see how the prices compare. So we're looking at 1,000 liters and 1,200, and you're looking at basically 30,000 for the combo. So you get a little more storage, so you can hold a little more spray. It's a little more expensive. 7 miles per hour, 21 meter. Now, this is only 15 meters. Okay, so you get a little more wingspan. So it's a slight step up from the Amazon, both in capacity, working with, and price, but definitely a good option. So it's a pretty good one. Apparently the hired worker could be having issues because of the fact that the seeder didn't go all the way to the end. So I won't blame the fact that the hired worker quit working on the sprayer. DLC is, what was it, $15 US? Something like that. Use a GPS mod. Yeah. $20 Canadian. Let's I'll go grab that other sprayer. I'll try it out. Matthew, you're watching from Canada? Nice. What part of Canada? Bird, $1,000 to change your wrap color at the shop. What if it's your own vehicle shop? They still charge you for using your own shop? And I imagine once you pay to do it once, it probably won't charge you again. That kind of seems to be a theme with the whole coloring. Alberta, okay. The only part of Canada I've ever been to is Vancouver. I've been to Vancouver quite a few times. I got an office for the company I work for is based over in Langley. And so I go in and out of Vancouver quite a bit. Alright, so let's unfold this guy. See what we're working with here. I can combine the mergers with courseplay unlike the rake to make huge windrows. Okay. Man, speaking of huge, this thing's massive. Auto detecting at 36. I've always kind of had a bit of a complaint about the sprayers in this game, is that they're all seem like they go a little too slow for me. Oh, that's pretty exciting. It's a sprayer. All right. Yeah, Bird, you should be able to basically DVR the stream. If you go back to the very beginning, that's what we started with. Over on field 11, we used the merger and then we bailed it. I can actually, so we're done Covered most of the spraying. What I was thinking about doing is grabbing this tractor over here and taking the merger over. I've got a field with some straw in it. And so I was going to go try and merge that together and then see how the square baler does on that. I imagine it's probably pretty normal. Matthew, you're my 15th subscriber. That's nice. Thanks, man. That must have been... Yeah, was that back in like June? How'd you find my channel? Was it through the Courseplay videos, or...? Nice. All right. Let's see what I can do here with Courseplay. We'll see if we can get it'd be great if I could back this up. There we go. We'll see if we can get Courseplay to merge this and then get the baler to bale them by using the same course. Alright, so this is field 29. We're going to start in the northwest and head east. Okay. I can't use the same course? Oh, alright. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, because you'd have twice as many. So, but I'm doing 9 meters, so if my next course, I would just do 18 meter course, right? Yeah, okay. We're on the same page here. Alright, and then I want to do discharge right, probably. Work mode right, okay. So then we'll just do first waypoint, drive course. What are you doing, buddy? Alright. Blocked by an object, completed the task. Oh, those are my seat sewers. Okay. We'll just do this differently then. Jets, are you asking how you win? This game, you don't really win. No one wins in Farming Simulator. Alright, nearest waypoint, drive course. Whoa, offset, buddy. Really? Alright, that's not what I'm looking for. Yeah, Giants wins. Alright, let's try this again and do... That's probably why the dude was spinning earlier. Let's do this again with no offset. Okay. And So I gotta set it back down. Nearest waypoint, drive course. Alright, so in theory that will do the mergers for me now. I'm kind of thinking maybe I should have dialed his working width down. We'll see what happens. Alright, let's stop these dudes. They're done. Oh, he was stopped. He was a hired worker. Alright, I got the baler. Take this over and we'll see how Courseplay is doing with our merger. Alright. So, it's not really doing a whole lot, and I guess the problem is just a limitation of the working width, because this would be working fine if this was grass. But it's really just one row that we had over here, and we pushed it over here, and now we just pushed it back here. I suppose eventually here it's gonna, maybe on this one, it'll wind up combining these two together. But that's just because I used the biggest combine and header, so the rows were already pretty consolidated. The feed mixing station is still turning grass into hay magically. Is that one of the placeable ones? Is it the big feed mixing station, or that newer one that's like the smaller, more vertical looking? Alright, so then for this guy, we're going to do fieldwork mode on 29. And we need to do meters. Starting in the northwest, heading east. Generate that. The big German one? Okay, yeah. Have you seen those newer ones, the smaller ones? They've got one for pig food and one for power food, or TMR. I can see this is probably going to be a little bit of an issue, because it looks like it's... maybe my working width wasn't quite right on the merger. But that's not actually underneath the course, so I may have to give it a little bit of a left offset. I mean, let's see how it does. I think it's going to miss a little bit First waypoint, drift course. Yeah, it's getting most of it. You don't like the aesthetic of the blue one? Yeah. I don't know. I don't like the aesthetics of either of them. I like the fact that those newer ones are smaller. It still feels a little cheaty that my video output is low. I don't know what that means. YouTube's complaining again. I don't know if that's a bandwidth thing. Yeah, this is not doing too bad. Yeah, stream's been laggy. I'm wondering if it's my upload. My upload speed goes down a little bit in the afternoon just because of the, I guess the subdivision I live in starts chewing up bandwidth later in the afternoon. So it's 2:45 here. So I may just not have the bandwidth to be pushing out a 720p stream. So I could lower the bit rate, which would lower the quality, but would probably help with the lagginess. So yeah, my offset's not quite right, and what I'm thinking is the I probably got to do a slightly wider than 9-meter course on the merger. Alternatively, I could just get, where's it at here? One of these. What was it, Natal? I don't know. R90. Put that guy in the front. I love using those with course play. Uh-oh. Yeah, we don't really want to go down this course yet. Our baler's outpacing the rake. I don't know. I mean, that looks pretty good. That is a straw bale. Oh, let's see. Is there anything we haven't... I think there's only one thing we haven't looked at yet, and that's the mower. Alright, this tractor should be able to do the mower. That looks pretty good. Kind of like how it hangs out the back instead of lifting up. Try the round bale wrapper with a straw. Uh-oh. Alright. Let's see here. I need a tractor. This thing has to have like the most elaborate folding and unfolding animation of any piece of equipment in the game. Short of maybe the massive sprayers. So let's see here. In the store, while straw is listed as an input type, surely it doesn't wrap it. Take that. Come on. I mean, it would be really cool with this baler if it would give you the option to spit out hay bales and not wrap them, and to spit out straw bales and not wrap them, because then you could use this, like you could do cows and have this be your only baler, because you can make silage, straw, and grass with the one machine. That would be nice. Yeah, James, using the new DLC. Just got it a couple hours ago. I was debating how I would like make a video and upload it to my channel for this, and then I was like, let's just live stream it. Seems like less drama. I've never, other than my test stream this morning, I've never live streamed anything, so. Alright, turn this on and lower the pickup. It's straw. Now what's it gonna do with it? Lets me unload it. Hey, that's pretty cool. Alright. So I'll make a couple more of these, but then I may go find I gotta get some grass somewhere and turn it into hay, and then I'll try baling hay and see if it does the same thing, or if it does the magical hay to grass bale conversion. Yeah, no, I'm impressed. I'm pretty happy that that actually puts out straw bales. So let's see here. Turned hay into grass earlier, didn't it? That was a square bale wrapper. So I picked up a hay bale with this. Whoops! I picked up a hay bale with the square bale wrapper, and it turned it from hay into grass and then wrapped it. So I don't know. I just assumed that this would do the same thing, but it's worth a shot, because that would be really good actually if you could do the 3 separate bales with this one baler. I don't know why I came all the way back here. I think I still have some grass, although it's windrowed, but I could still just go hit the windrows with the tedder over on field 11, make some hay, and then rake it back up and try over there. I've got, it's not the new cool DLC stuff, but I've got a tedder and a rake over there, so we can just go use what I have over there for the test. Whoa, whoa, train. That was almost bad. Doing bales and bird left. I know, man. It's the internet. Alright. I got a tedder around here somewhere, I swear. Maybe I don't. Ah. Alright. Yeah, Ken, exactly. If you have a mixing station, there's really no need to bale. You can just use a loading wagon, make silage. You know, they even have the placeable silage mods now that you can just cut grass into them, and they'll spit out silage. You don't have to deal with the actual bunkers anymore. But then, yeah, and yeah, like Jan's saying, it's up to your play. Some people like making the bales. Yes, I'm playing on PC. I don't know, Jan. I would kind of disagree with that. I don't think bales are easier to store. If you have one of those mods like I've been using in the Let's Play series, where I've got that big storage facility, and you can store your grass and hay and straw in bulk and just load it in trailers. That really, you know, that combined with the mixing stations really is the least amount of work to get the most amount of food. But again, it depends heavily on mods, where the cool thing is for, you know, our fellow console players, that this DLC will help them probably more so than a PC player, because this they can use, where a lot of the mods I'm talking about, the mixing stations and the storage facility and all that stuff, I don't, as far as I know, none of that actually exists on console. So, all right, turn this on and lower it. So it is spreading the windrow out a little bit, but not a lot. $300,000 liters of bales on your truck and 2 trailers. That's 6 trips of the pickup. That's a good point. Yeah. So how do you store them? Do you just leave them sit on the ground? Do you have a shed that you try and put them in, or what do you do with that? And then, do you notice? Do you have like noticeable lag when you're in the area? Because I know, kind of like with logging, in 15, if you had more than, I don't know, like 200 bales kind of stacked up in an area, you get really bad lag when you get close to them, because it's trying to compute the physics of all of it. First I was dropping them in front of the shed and stacking them with a tractor because it was fun, but eventually started getting screwy on their own. Yeah. Alright. What are the odds this tractor has enough horsepower to even do this? I think it should be okay. I don't need that. Norm, what's up, man? Missed the square baler. Yes, we have already baled. We've got some over there. I did some hay square bales, some grass, and then we wrapped them, and we did some straw over there in the other field. Yeah, but yeah, the way I got the stream set up, you should be able to rewind back to that. So most of the stuff on this field we did at the very beginning of the stream. But we did just do the straw. What I'm testing now is, so they got the round bale with the wrapper on the back, and that's how we made those wrapped grass bales over there. But we just used it to do straw, and it allows you to actually bale straw, and then you just kind of, it kicks it out into the wrapper section, and then you just immediately kick it out the back, and it won't actually wrap it. And then, so we were like, well, that'd be cool if we could actually wrap, or not wrap, hay bales, right? And kick hay bales out the back, because then you could, in theory, have the one baler to do hay, silage, and straw for cattle. Alright, let's grab this guy. Yeah. Oh. Here we go. So this was using the square baler to do straw. Where is my baler? Didn't I bring it over here? Yeah, there it is. Okay. Yeah, Norm, I took today off work. I've gotten to the point, I'm so bad about taking vacation that we're only allowed to accrue so much. And so I actually have so much vacation accrued that like I have to take it or else I just lose the days. And I was like, well, the DLC is coming out. I guess I could just take a vacation day and sit at home and play Farming Simulator all day. Alright, so we're going to turn on the baler, lower the pickup. Oh, there we go. Okay, it is picking it up. Alright, so it's still straw. Or, sorry, hay. Cool! It's not wrapping it. Nice! Alright, well, my opinion of this baler has just gone up significantly. I really like this. I like the fact that it won't do the magical conversion and turn this into grass and wrap it. So you can really have the one baler to do everything. That's cool. Alright. I'm gonna go grab the I'm gonna head back to the shop and I'm gonna pick up the big square bale auto stacker. And I just want to try using it and make sure that it like accepts all the different types of bales now. Whoa. Whoa, buddy, come on. Look down at chat for like 3 seconds and drive into a hole. Yeah, 2 in 1. At least something new works well. Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, the only thing I really wanted out of the DLC was the square bale wrapper. But that baler's nice. That's really nice. That's what. What was I doing? Yeah, that's right. I was gonna pick up the auto stacker. Baling technology. That's got to be where it is. There we go. I'm driving distracted. Dude, my driving is terrible in this game, even when I'm not distracted. Is DLC worth the price? In my opinion, yes. For me, it is worth the price. And part of that's just because I like supporting the franchise. Yeah, so now if 15 bucks or however much the DLC is, depending on your localized currency, is a big deal to you, honestly wait like 3 months and I'm sure you're gonna have like mildly modded versions of every piece of equipment available on all the mod websites on the internet. And so if you're only in it to get one piece of equipment, you know, I'm sure something similar is going to pop up here eventually. So I'll do operating position. Yeah, the merger is a cool mod too. So that baler, the merger, and the square bale wrapper are definitely nice. Alright, well so far, this all seems pretty normal. Even the auto stacker's amazing ability to grab a bale that's nowhere near it. Alright. Someone finished work? Oh, is that our merger? Okay. So yeah, did a pretty good job there with courseplay. Michael, just tuning in. Yeah, we've actually, at this point, I think we've covered every piece of equipment. Now we're just trying to do weird stuff with them. So I'm going to grab the square bale wrapper, and I'm going to see what happens. So we already did the... I tested it, and if you go and pick up a hay bale with a square bale wrapper, it will automatically convert it to grass and then wrap it. So I was going to grab the square bale wrapper and take it over and see what it does to one of those straw bales. I'm hoping that in theory it will just like refuse to pick it up, but we'll see. 3-bale stacker thing, yeah. We can give it a try. I would imagine that if the bigger auto stacker's working, that one probably will too. Just kind of give that a little nudge there. There we go. Watching live from high school. Nice. Alright, Thomas, thanks for stopping in today. And then after we try this out, I'll take this back over to field 11 and we can wrap a couple more bales for people that are just tuning in. Nice. Alright. Well, they got that part right at least. Bill not supported. Let's, I'll take this back over to field 11 and we'll actually do some grass bales with it. So I don't know. Personally, I think it's... if they've got the coding in place to say it's not going to wrap a straw bale, it should say the same thing about a hay bale. I don't think you should be able to wrap hay bales for silage. Alright, so this is wrapping a grass bale. See, I don't have to press anything, you just get it in between the two things and it'll pick it up and wrap it. Shooter coot, so I had them set up right and they were using a giant tractor. Yeah. Yeah, that's the... That setup is kind of lost on me because if you have to have a 300 horsepower tractor to do it, then you've probably gotten to the point in your game where you can afford a 9-meter seeder, right? You're not going to be screwing around with a 3-meter seeder. No, that's a good point though. Yeah, if you you could use a smaller tractor to run the pieces individually, and then once you do get a bigger tractor, you could run them all combined. Yeah. Alright, so here we go picking up a hay bale, and let me get zoomed in here a little bit, and you'll see it'll change from a hay bale to a grass bale real quick. See the color change? And then it will wrap it. So I don't know whether I don't know if that's a feature or a bug. To me, if you tried to pick up a hay bale, it should just say bale type not supported. And it would be nice if it would auto unload. Like spike, totally. Yeah, I mean, if you're enjoying the video so far, go ahead and hit that like button. And for those of you who may not have seen my channel yet, all I do is Farming Simulator. Lately I've been releasing one video a day. I have a Let's Play series that I do every other day, and then I fill in between the Let's Play series with tutorials and guides and stuff like that. So if you're interested, by all means subscribe and check out some of my other content. Alright, so let's fold that up. I can go grab the little 3-stacker and see if it picks all that stuff up. Let's take this. Thanks, Norm. For those who don't know, Norm actually has a really good Farming Simulator channel too. I like your Let's Play series. I've watched quite a bit of it. let's see, what did I come over here for? Oh yeah, the little stacker. Bailing. This guy. So I'm gonna multitask here, and I'm gonna take this mower over there, and we'll try out the mower, and we'll try out the bale specs. Can't talk. Try out the mower and the bale stacker. Been streaming for 3 hours now. My back is starting to hurt. There we go. Tractor unicorn. Alright, so put that in operating position. Oh, come on. The unicorn horn isn't helping. There we go. Am I not getting it straight enough, or is it just not going to want to pick those up? Let's go try on one of these and see if it'll pick it up. Interesting. Let's drop that off. And try this again here. There we go. Man, that thing's picky, isn't it? I've honestly, I've never used this thing before either. Alright, so that part's working. Okay. So now that I know how to use this, let's try let's try again. Oh, come on. Oh, yes! Yeah, exactly. Why is this thing so picky when that other auto stacker grabs it from like 5 feet away? There we go. No, yeah. There's a reason why I never use this thing in the game. Alright, we gotta try my trailer and see if this thing works. I gotta remember where I put the stupid thing though. I think I parked it up by the sheep, but I could be wrong. Whoa, buddy. Yeah. Traffic in this game is dangerous. Put it in the lake. I should have. You see me Dukes a Hazard that truck over that jump there? That was pretty sweet. Let's see, do I have anything on this trailer? Let's see here. I do, okay. There we go. Not sure why the cover is being weird. And we want to do square bales. We'll see if we can load all the various types of this thing. Yeah. You like this trailer, Norm? So far so good. Yeah. Norm, I can make you one if you want. Put your logo on it. Hi, Sam. Should be getting full here pretty soon. Two more. Alright, that works. Yeah, no, I kind of feel the same way about it. I love the trailer. It works well. This is the first time I've actually had a problem with it with the covers. But it was kind of annoying that it had the Modders logo on it. And there's a few other things visually about it. It was European, so I've made some changes to it. If you notice, the sides are symmetrical now. So the wide part's at the front and it tapers out to the back on both sides, where before they were kind of mirrored. So you'd have the wide part, when you look at it this way, the wide part would be on the front. And then when you look at it from this side, the wide part's on the back. And that just didn't seem right to me. And then, like, I changed out some of the stuff on the back here, so I put on, like, the DOT style reflectors instead of the orange. And then I deleted the license plate and put my logo and this not for hire plaque. Changed the caution signs to more of an American style wide turn, and then added my Yosemite Sam back off mud flap. And then, let me see if I can get it. It's hard to get in there. But there's a second set of mud flaps in there, and instead of the normal lady cutouts, it's a fat trucker cutout. So, yeah, and I've got the side, oh man, where is it? I got the side file saved for it without my logo, so it's really easy for me to just modify the two sides and put someone else's logo on it. So I'll totally make one for you, and then I'll send you probably a YouTube message with with like a link to go download it, if that works for you. Alright, well, let's try unloading this. Make sure that works. Oh, there, the animation's working now on the clamps. I don't know why it needed to be reset or something. Let's see here. And then I've got a video covering the modding, some of the modding work I did on it that should be out in like 2 days or something like that, 3 days. So keep an eye out for that one. And we want to unload right. Yeah, so that worked well. Handled the wrap square bales fine, so pretty happy with that. So good solid 60 frames while standing next to my pile here, so. Is there anything else anyone wants to check out here in the... Oh, the mower! I haven't done the mower yet. Where did I put that? It's over here somewhere. Yeah, Norm, the video I put out today, I covered the tools that I use to do it, and I found for DDS's Paint.net is probably the easiest, because it natively supports it, whereas like GIMP, you have to have a plugin to do it. And then the next video that's coming out, I'll actually do quite a bit of DDS editing, which that's how I did all the, well, most of the customizations. There's some stuff I had to do in Giants. I have not gotten into Blender yet. That one is still a little intimidating for me. Turn it on and lower it. Hey, look at that. It's cutting the grass, just like a mower. It'd be nice if the cover was animated. I suppose that's a lot of work to like make it do that, but I would kind of think that that back flap would be animated. I can't zoom in far enough to see inside of it. Just trying to see if I could like see the cutting heads moving. Oh yeah, you can. You can lift it while it's running, so okay. It's got moving cutting heads. That's good. Alright, Shooter, have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. Norm, you've started Blender? Does that mean you've started working with Blender, or you've opened it? Because I've opened Blender before. I'd love to learn how to do it. I think I might be trying to like jump in too far, and maybe I need to do something simple like make a shed, right? Just like make a building to park my tractors in, and then start from there. It seems like it might be easier. Yeah, I started working with it, okay. Alright, cool, yeah. Started with a weight and it was too much. Yeah. That software has a really steep learning curve, that's for sure. Working on sheds, exactly, yeah. So I'm back to looking at these, all these various cedar thingies here. I'm trying to think. So if I put that there, and then I put this here. No, see, it doesn't let me pick up. It won't let me attach that to the front. So if I put this, the Beast Power, hello, how you doing today? Put that on the front, we put this on the back, and then I switch it into reverse drive. Would that be going the right way then? It won't let me hook up to that. Okay. The large spreader with the white tank, liquid or slurry. This one over here. This is liquid fertilizer. Oh, not doing too bad today. Getting to play with some new toys and not work, so that's always a plus. Drill, cult, plow, tractor, seed tank. Alright, so that's what... There's a guy in here earlier who was trying to tell us to do that, and it just seems wrong, doesn't it? Like, why would you put your seed and then cultivate and then plow? Because I did this earlier where we had it the other direction, and one of the things I was noticing about it is that the weight is so much on the back. Well, and that was using the corn planter. the weight is so much on the back of it that you lose a lot of your steering. And this is a Fendt 900. Like, it shouldn't have, it shouldn't struggle that much with it, right? So I'm fairly certain it's not going to work this way, and I have to switch it around. But yeah, we did it with this same order, but the other direction, with the seed tank on the front and the plow cultivator seeder on the back, and it worked fine that way. So just seeing what happens here. Turn it on, lower it, turn it on. And lower that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, we had it right earlier. Oh, that's funny. Wait, so I can put it in reverse drive. Okay. Alright. Change driving direction. This actually does help with, so this would help a lot with the weight issue. Space on that for a coffee machine. No kidding, right? Well, the funny thing is, when it's all said and done, it's still not fertilizing. Alright, so this works, and this actually gives better weight and balance than having it around the other way. Now, you still can't hire a worker. Let's see here. I suppose that helps with the weight too, if you lower it. It'll take some of the weight off the tractor. Let me try that going the other way. Yeah, it steers way better doing it that way. Okay. So you can see, like, the steering is not very responsive when it's set up this way because it's got so much weight on the back. But if I lower that, I wonder if it helps. No, it does not help a lot. Alright, let's try that again reversed. Because I don't know if it comes across very well in the video, but driving that's a little rough. Oh. Alright, we want to switch back into reverse drive. There are weights that have a 3-point hitch that you can attach to the front. Yeah, I mean, that's an option. Part of the way I'm looking at this, though, is if you're a console player and you have this DLC, like, you probably don't have access to those weights, though. So I mean, this steers really good because it's got a ton of weight now on the steering wheel. It almost oversteers. Yeah. Man, that reverse driving just kind of throws me for a loop every time. High class fire, that's what Norm was just saying. There are some mods available that have 3 points in them. So you could put them between the tractor and something else. But here, Norm, I don't think you were here for this. So if I detach that part, and then we attach this other one over here, there's like two things I think is weird about this. One, the seeder is wider than the cultivator and the plow. And two, you just do endless wheelies. This is a... This is a Fent 939 for Christ's sakes. Like... So, like, what tractor would I have to get that could actually, like, legitimately hold that? Let's try the 8700 Black Edition. Oh, you think you have them on console? Okay, well that's good. I really have no insight into that, because I thought that if it was in the mod hub, it was available on console, but apparently there's stuff in there that's not. Alright, well we're doing a little better, but we still can't steer. With this tractor, the seed tank might be just enough to weigh the front down that it'll be okay. It's not horrible. It's not great either. I mean, because the other problem comes in, like, what other tractor would you have that's that higher weight class than that still has a front 3-point? Because when you get into the Challengers and this stuff, you don't have front 3-points anymore. So there's the Magnum CVX. But, I mean, really, I guess it is a bit more tractor than a Fent 900. Chance uses the Dutes in the marketing. There, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and even include the wheel weights. Alright, so far so good. Yeah, no, I can't steer at all. I mean, it's kind of doing it, but like if I start driving straight and then go to... It's really laggy. It's not horrible. Oh, this is... Okay, so this is better than the Fendt 900. I'll give it that much. And I don't immediately do a wheelie when I lose the front seater. I don't know if that's because I have the wheel weights on, but I thought the wheel weights just apply to the back. Let's see if the Magnum CVX does any better. I imagine it would. Oh, wow. It's actually squatting the crawler track through the ground. The front seater is filled, yes. I don't know if it's 100% full, but it's like mostly full. Look at... Ah! I can't steer! No way. No way. That's absolutely ridiculous. That helps, but it's still not great. Look at how stupid that looks. This tractor is massive. This is the largest tractor that comes in the game that still has a front 3-point. And a 3-meter wide seater is making it struggle that much. So I don't know, of everything I tested, I think the best combo is actually using the Fendt 900 in reverse drive. That seemed to handle it pretty good. Now, to be fair, when you're using this seater, you don't technically need the front seed tank, but you do need that when you're using this, because this doesn't have its own ability to store seed. So, I mean, you could use this setup, and then I've got a 2,300 kilogram weight around here somewhere. I don't know where I put it. I did that earlier today. Let me find. We'll try it in the Fendt with normal forward driving. That weight's around here somewhere. Oh, bother. Alright, let's just buy one. No, it's still... I mean, it's manageable. You could drive it to the field and back like this. Oops. And here's a rear lift of 13,715 pounds. Oh, dudes. Okay. Ends at 1980. Okay. Can we weigh this up at the BGA? Of course, I think the problem with the BGA scales is I don't know if that would be in pounds or kilograms or what. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Go faster. Man, what is up with all these cars today? Can't I just use the whole road? Suppose I could fold that back part. Whoa. You think that's pounds? 16,546 pounds. Wow, we only went up to 18,950. $16,546 with the tractor. Oh, 5,000. Okay, not 15. Didn't it say 15? I swear it did. All right, 5,689. So this combo back here is basically, is basically half the weight of the tractor itself. Oh, well here. I know how to tell what that is. Okay, so it's kilograms, because that's a 2,400 kg weight, and we're at 2,403. Putting the same setup on the front to counter the problem. Yeah. Alright, so that's 5,689 kilograms. That's odd, because if it's really that much, then it means it basically weighs twice this weight. Which, that seems like it should be fine. I wonder if the problem is the heavy part is the cedar. Let's see how much just the cedar weighs. Oh, wow. Yeah, so the cedar is like by far most of the weight. And so it's probably not so much how much it actually weighs, but the fact that it's leveraged out so far behind the tractor. Alright, well. See, and that's why, to me, let's see here, if we disconnect that piece. Disconnect. Alright, fine, disconnect that piece too. Like, it would kind of make sense if I could do something like this, but like, I'm pretty sure I've tested this numerous times now, and it doesn't let me. Because, yeah, you can't put that stuff on the front. Forget about it and sell the farm. Exactly. This is clearly too much work. Let me see if I can put just the plow on the front. Kind of worked myself into a tight spot here. Just the plow that's not actually a plow. It's just a cultivator that does actually plow. Alright, so no, I can't put that on the front. So, can I cultivate and then plow? Ooh, I can cultivate and then plow. Okay. Oh wow, that's got a few graphic issues there. That's a little bit better. And then let's try hooking this thing up to the back and see if maybe changing that order helps somewhat. Oh, not gonna happen. It's not letting me hook up to it. Okay. Alright, well, I'm gonna go, I've got too much. I don't want to redo it all. Let me find a field here. And I'm going to go run this thing on it. And I'm curious what texture it leaves. If it leaves a cultivated texture or what. More implements than crops, yeah. Alright, here we go. Alright, so it leaves a cultivated texture. But it is removing the needs plow status. So, okay. Well, it's good to know that you can flip that part around at least, even if you can't put the cedar on the back. Oh, hey, I wonder. Can I put it on the front in this configuration? No, I cannot. Yeah, so this, I set this up so it's tractor, cultivator, plow, and it works because the plow's not actually a plow in the game. It's classified as a cultivator, but it's a cultivator that removes the need plow status off the field. So apparently you can hook these up in this order. You can cultivate and then plow, and it does it. It removes the need plow status, but leaves the field with a cultivated texture. I was trying to see if there's a way that I could get this stack split up a little bit, so some of it's on the front and some is on the back, but it doesn't seem to want to do that. So I'll get this all rearranged the way that it seems to want to be so that I can drive it back to the shop. Alright. So the other thing I'm curious about is there is in the pack there's like a 3-meter wide cultivating seeder, and so I'm curious if I can hook the plow up and then hook that thing up behind the plow. It may be a slightly better option than this. Hey Bird, we're back to like trying to rearrange the order of all this stuff to see what we can do with it. Alright, so we're going to ditch that part, I'm going to ditch that part, but then I'm going to try and pull... Where is it? Oh, there it is. I'm going to see if I can pull this thing and plow in front of this. Nice. Alright. Alright, so let's try wheat, and then we'll turn that on. And then lower. Alright, so it looks like this combo works. This isn't actually half bad. Now, one thing I'm a little worried about there is it like cultivating wider than the cedar? So like when I go to do a pass, is it gonna basically like leave a little cultivated strip? Kind of looks like it is. Yeah. Well, that's not good. Yeah, that's not good. Well, it was good in theory. Need a slightly wider cedar, I guess. What did they register those at in the store, though? I thought they were both the same width. $4 meters. Oh, I think the cedar's 3, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So the cultivator was 1 meter wider than the cedar, so that makes sense. What computer do I have to get 60 FPS? Nothing special. I built it myself. It's a Intel Core i7 5930K, 64 gigabytes of RAM, which is totally overkill. My video cards are a little lacking. They're older. I've got a pair of ATI Radeon 6500 series in SLI, which of course Farming Simulator does not support SLI, so it doesn't really do me a whole lot of good. So what I do, because of YouTube, I took SLI off, and I have the screen that actually plays the game is on a dedicated video card, and I've got 3 other screens on my computer that I run off the other video card. That way the video processing load for like the screen that shows YouTube and the screen that shows OBS and Audacity and all that stuff isn't putting load on the one card that's doing the game. So it seems to work out pretty good. I'm definitely going to be upgrading the video cards here eventually. I may get like a... Is that cedar? It's kind of weird. I feel like that cedar is too low or dragging or something. Alright, well, what else can we try here? Any requests? Yeah, we probably got a few people that joined recently, so. But, I mean, so far we've covered pretty much everything. Oh man, we are up to 4 hours. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon here. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to wrap this up here. We've pretty well covered everything. This video will be uploaded to my channel. I think it takes 24 hours for YouTube to automatically do that. So this will all be available if anyone wants to watch it. I may live stream later tonight and just kind of play around with this stuff some more. But I think I'm definitely going to take a break for a little bit here and go eat lunch and feed my dogs. They're kind of giving me concerned looks. So thanks everyone for joining, and please like and subscribe. So I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.